I'm coming from the industry and technology, specifically in renewable energy, so we are recipients of the results of science through technology. And we, of course, we look at the results of science impacting the renewable energy. So if I look at physical sciences, not just plain engineering, the benefits that we get are related to photovoltaic cells and nanotechnology and other related fields in physics. And there is a potential there. In geothermal energy, there are some basic studies and measurements of what is happening between the magma and the surface of the Earth. But personally, I think that the major impact in the future will come actually from the biology. If we look one of the important uses of energy is, of course, transportation, and the future of producing economically fuels really depends on progress in biology. And I would say also that this applies also for water, because if we look how the Earth developed, both the capture of CO2 and make out of it oil after millions of years, and the cleaning of water, this is all related to biology. And we are now in an area where if 70 or in the beginning of the last century, quantum mechanics developed, and there are people who say that a huge portion of economical activity now is actually based on quantum mechanics. In 40%, according to some people. So the future of energy and treatment of water, I very much believe that it will come from the side of biology, and you know, some simple aspects have been already tried out, like just taking sugar cane, producing alcohol, but ethanol, but this is very much limited. And there is a lot of work going on bacteria in the sea, and we will not go into details, of course, but I think that this is the future, and a lot of work is being done in this field. And what I think is also that here is also, in this lies also the threats, because building machines, the machines are not reproducing themselves alone. You know, there is not, a tank is not reproducing himself. You need the industry to build tanks, and therefore you have to have a crazy guy like Hitler, and in some respects Stalin, to mobilize technology and science to have an impact. Once you deal with biology, it can just run away by itself, by reproducing itself. And you can have also, thanks to another aspect which is developing, which is communication, computers, internet, that empowers a lot of people, and this is of course positive, but the negative thing that it also empowers rogue states and even individuals to do very unhealthy or very dangerous things. And what I think that one challenge for science is to try to develop tools how we can face the possible threats which comes from developing the technology itself. I will not go into what threats come with the ease of communication today and the accessibility to the knowledge that I mentioned before, because others on the panel will speak about this. I just want to stress the point that this big difference that if we find a solution to produce economically biofuels by developing bacteria or algae, we have to look very carefully, and the only answer can come from science itself. It's not because we will tell people to behave nicely that everybody will behave nicely. So one of the challenges for science is for any new development, to look also at how to deal with possible runaway or threats which come from the basic fact that once you deal with biology, you have a self-reproducing system, and this, of course, is what makes what makes the possible to produce economically energy by using basically solar energy, but in the way that nature does it, and also treatment of water and food. And you well know that there is quite a reaction against genetically modified foods. I think that the reaction maybe is exaggerated, but there is something which has to be taken into account. And I look at it for egoistically, if you want, for Israel, being a small country, to give such a challenge to the scientists to look at how to mitigate the dangers of what science is producing in a scientific way, not in a political way or moral way, or going back to the dark ages where science is considered of something bad. This can lead also to economical advantages later, as long as people. And we have here another danger in developing science is that I certainly am for applied science. This is where we make a living. But if everything will be applied science and every young scientist will look immediately how we can start a company and make an exit, this is not going to be very productive for basic science. And so this is another effort that has to be done, how to keep young people motivated in long-term scientific development. But if we are successful in doing it, this will certainly have economical benefit, like some of the work which was done in Israel in mathematics, on developing the algorithm to do encryption of communication, could be reproduced. And without this basic work, we couldn't communicate on the internet in a difficult way. It's difficult enough. So I think that this example, what happened in communication, could be also used as some kind of guideline for biological scientists. Thank you.
Thank you.